Hi guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another Royal News video. So we are off to a bit of a late start this week. That is because I have had a very busy diary. First of all, the weekend just gone. Those of you that follow me on Twitter, or now as it's called X, will know it was my 6th wedding anniversary and my husband and I decided to go to Cambridge. We've already been to Oxford, so you can't go to one without going to the other. I will say, if any of you have ever mulled it over for a place to visit, I do highly recommend it. Lots of history, lots of churches, lots of incredible architecture. Oxford has the Bridge of Sighs. Cambridge has the Mathematical Bridge. We went punting on the River Cam, which everyone said you have to do, and they are definitely not wrong. It was great fun. We had a lovely punter on the back of the boat called Ollie. It's called punting. It's the shape of the boat. These are narrow with flat bottoms and they are propelled by, as you can see, with a rather large stick that pushes off of the riverbed. It was actually a fascinating tour. Ollie kept it lots of fun. You can punt yourself and, well, I would say leave it to the professionals. It certainly turned into a game of bumper boats as we went up and down the river, especially as a few people like having the odd pims here and there. But otherwise, what an incredible place to visit. The city is definitely a must see. And my best thing that I've got for an anniversary present actually is linked to Oxford. Those of you that know and followed me for some time in Oxford, I bought this incredible hat. I loved it. I went to Windsor. I lost it. When we were walking up one of these stunning cobbled streets, looking at all the different shops, guess what I spotted? The exact same store. So I ran in there to the groans of my husband, and they had the exact same hat, different feather. They had it in my size. It was the last one in my size because, believe it or not, having a big mouth doesn't equate to having a big head, and I've actually got a really small head. So yes, the husband did good. The hat is back. I've got a brand spanking new feather, slightly different to my old one, and I could not be happier. So let's move on to the biggie of the week. Another reason why the video has been delayed so far, because I was a nervous wreck. I wasn't sleeping very well. Most of you know I had a sick dog. Chia decided to get sick. I think she picked up a stomach bug from the kennels, and this was her. She was a shaking, jittering mess. And this was the night before that I was panic reading a book, because the next day I was interviewing the author, none other than the fabulous Lady C. Yes, I had been invited to go to Castle Goring and interview the author on the day before the release of her new book. I had a friend Caleb come with me, not just for moral support, but to help me set up the cameras. I've never done anything like this. As most of you know, this is my living room. What you are watching me on is my iPhone 14. So technical and trying to film 2 people at once. So I've got lots of editing to get done. I'm looking to get part 1 out to you Friday and part 2 to you on Saturday. But yes, what an experience. Lady C is absolutely hilarious. She's funny, she's witty, and she was so lovely to us both. Afterwards, she gave us a tour of Castle Goring. What an incredibly beautiful home. I was walking around real tourist mode going, wow, 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 the whole time. I couldn't help it from one room to the next. That place is truly magical to live there. And did you know that you can even get married there? Now you'll see when the video comes out that, it may not be the best, but it was my first ever interview. I've never done anything like this before, and I absolutely winged it. My friend Caleb kept me nice and calm, and Lady C was a fantastic host. She was very patient with me. She waited as I fumbled my words. But yes, what an incredible experience, and I can't wait to bring both parts of that to you. As for the book itself, yes, it's totally worth it. Now, some of you will say it's just because you went for an interview you're going to say that. It means you don't know me that well. If I thought that the book wouldn't be worth it, I wouldn't be saying to you guys, waste your money or anything. There is so much that she has packed into all of these extra chapters, because when the book was originally released, which was back in 2020, you can imagine everything that's happened. And I will say this is the only spoilers. Well, not even a spoiler. I will say this, and I mean it wholeheartedly. She packs a serious punch. She takes absolutely no prisoners, and she certainly treads where others have dared not to. She covers it all. There are bits in the book that had me laughing. There are bits in the book that had me like, How could she? She said that. She dropped some serious atomic bombs. And to be honest with you, after spending the last 4 years watching the royal family being the ones that have had the bombs dropped on them, it was quite the delightful read. So yes, my honest opinion is this book is definitely worth adding to your collection. So let's get on to my first royal story. Let's talk about a secret appearance that Meghan has made at a children's hospital in Los Angeles. So secret that she took a photographer with her. Not only that, it was quite clearly very secret because no photographs were released by the children, by their family members, by members of staff, which you do often see when celebrities go to visit children. Rather than Meghan visiting them at their bedside, the children were all brought into a room with a camera crew set up at the perfect angle so they could capture Meghan reading the books. Some of the newspapers reported how Meghan was bonding with children using her acting skills. And I can tell you the children look as bonded to Meghan as we were enthralled with her acting skills. They look like they are in a hostage situation. They really do. They look very unhappy. The body language of all the children is uncomfortable to view. She's not I would say a Hollywood star that the children would know. You know, children get excited. Robert Downey Jr. went to hospital. You've had Johnny Depp go in as Captain Jack Sparrow. Meghan is not a children's character, a children's performer, a well-known fun singer that children love like Katy Perry. She is an ex-cable TV actress who married a member of the British royal family. She is, for all intents and purposes, a complete stranger to these children. Now, some will say, regardless, it's nice that she gave up her time to go into a hospital and to dedicate her time caring and compassionately reading to children, bringing a bit of light to their lives. But at the end of the day, that takes the shine off it for the fact that she sat there with a camera crew and a photographer. And as I said, the children look very uncomfortable in the photographs. Meghan takes a Polaroid camera, and let's be real, kids don't know what a Polaroid camera is these days. Everything's iPads and iPhones. She gets a photograph taken with them, which a lot of them don't look particularly happy with, and then signs her autograph. People have said, like media outlets going, Meghan broke a rule, a royal family member rule. She's an ex-royal. She's now a private citizen. It doesn't matter. Meghan could have a beautiful calligraphy crafted signature. She could have that projected up the Empire State Building. No one will give a damn because it doesn't matter. She doesn't act like a royal because she's not a royal. But that's my point. If this was pure philanthropy and out of the goodness of her heart, surely she'd go in a private visit. What Meghan is doing is using donation-dependent organisations to promote herself. Whether you like Harry and Meghan or you don't like Harry and Meghan, at the end of the day, they are little more than private citizens. How do Harry and Meghan keep getting access to other people's children when they ferociously guard the privacy and security around their own? From Meghan reading the book, The Bench at the school in Harlem, we then had during the pandemic where parents were not allowed to go see their children in nurseries. Those beautiful times when they form friendships and they're playing and learning new skills, parents were not allowed to go in, but Harry and Meghan were allowed to go in. But because of who Harry and Meghan are, people seem to be, I guess, glittered by a bit of stardust, and they think, oh yes, this is wonderful. The children in the hospital looked bored. They looked uncomfortable. Meghan asked the little girl, can I have a hug? That's something that children, if they want to hug you, they will. But she's then pressured with all of these people around her looking at her with a camera. And you can see by the way she puts her arm in front of herself, she did not want that hug. A lot of the interaction with the children looks forced, it looks unnatural, and as I said, they look like they're in a hostage situation. The fact she's signing her autographs for these kids that have got no idea who she is, that's just so the kids, when they're a little bit older, can go, who the heck was Princess Meghan or Meghan Markle? You know she's probably signing Princess Meghan these days. And the reason why I also know it's for self-promotion is because the bot farms were activated. Hundreds of tweets, Princess Meghan, just like Princess Diana, visits sick children in a hospital. There was loads of them. A lot of the accounts are very similar, same hashtags, the exact same posts. These are the same bot farms that attack William and Catherine or the King and Queen Camilla. And you've got to think, they are quite clearly all linked. Now, as for Meghan visiting the children in hospital out of the kindness and compassion of her heart, I am cynical, because if you can't show kindness and compassion to your own family members, especially your father who suffered several heart attacks, it's hard to believe that you've got any genuine compassion or sometimes a heart at all to be able to give it so freely to others, naturally recorded on camera. When you see Hollywood stars or sports stars and they go to these hospitals and they go to these establishments where they want to draw attention to them, because a lot of them are donation driven, and that's where it can be positive. You know, obviously, because they are such huge superstars, it then puts the particular organisation or charity on the map. But a lot of the photographs that are released by the patients themselves, family members that are excited, their Instagram posts, and that's when the newspapers generally pick it up. But none of the photographs got released. In fact, there wasn't a peep of Meghan's secret visit that was done on the 21st of March until Meghan decided to release the photographs. That, to me, like the school in Harlem, makes me think that there were an awful lot of NDAs handed out. Now, does that sound like compassion in action to you? You're not allowed to speak of this. You're not allowed to tell anyone about this, even though I was here to bring some joy to your children's lives until I've decided it's the right opportunity to do it. Now, that's the other thing as well. I think Meghan hangs on to pictures to launch them, as I'm sure most of you have seen. She's done it ever since she joined the royal family, to overshadow people. Because why would Meghan wait this long to release these photographs? I'm going to give you why I think why. I think because this was filmed before Catherine had told the world of her cancer diagnosis and her treatment, and she wouldn't be seen for a while, the last we'd heard from Kensington Palace was Catherine would be returning to work after Easter, resuming duties after Easter. And of course, we have the big royal family get together where the press are all there, where they cover the royals going to St George's Chapel. The whole family go for an Easter service. Now, I think that she thought that perhaps Catherine was going to make her appearance. This is what my gut is telling me, and my gut has been pretty much right about Meghan to this day. And I think that she was hanging on to these photographs because it was going to be Catherine walking to the church with the children. This is obviously, as I said, before we knew about her diagnosis. And that's when she was going to release these pictures. Come on, it's her MO. She's done it with Prince Louis's birthday. She's done it on Catherine's birthday. She's done it when Queen Camilla's given a very important speech to do with domestic violence. Something that you think that Meghan, being a feminist and a fighter for women's rights, apparently, that she would obviously want something like that to get positive coverage. I mean, look, recently, it was her own husband's awards for Diana, the Diana Awards. Obviously, she coincided that to time more with Prince William's appearance than Harry's. But Meghan will launch anything she's got in her arsenal to get attention on herself. And I don't think she's afraid to use children to do it. We've seen her do this, and I hate bringing this story up because this story is obviously very upsetting for many people. But Uvalde in Texas, Meghan, if she genuinely cared and just wanted to go down there and show her support, she could have gone down there quietly. She could have gone to the blood banks and given donations. She could have just got a member of staff to go up and lay flowers. But Meghan did not. She went there with a team, as I've shown in footage from other videos. She went with a team of people and she walked around in front of every single film crew. There were still family members that were finding out. People were still trying to contact friends and family because it had only happened within 24 hours. And there's Meghan parading up and down, showing how upset she was. Meghan and Harry used children when they were trying to promote themselves as humanitarians. They went to a military base where they were housing Afghanistan refugees, and they had a school set up for the children. Meghan did head, shoulders, knees and toes with them, but you can tell her interaction, much like the children in the hospital, Meghan is interacting with the cameraman. Look at her line of sight. Again, the only person that seems interested is Prince Harry. Let's go back to when Meghan had that ostentatious baby shower in New York for her firstborn. As part of her hen-do fun, she got them all doing flower arrangements. What did they do with those flowers? They then sent them to a hospital, where sick people in hospitals generally are not allowed to have flowers at their bedside. The hospitals stop it because of germs, contamination, all sorts of things. But they took a photographer with the flowers and asked people to pose with them. Again, we have sick children. What are children going to do with those flowers? What do they really mean to those kids? But it meant everything about giving Meghan a bit of positive publicity. It reminds me of Let Them Eat Cake. We see through it now. Meghan's popularity is absolutely tanking. I think Prince Andrew, if people are honest, probably looks a bit more popular than what Meghan does now. The fact is, she took a film crew to show this moment of her giving her time out of kindness. And as I said, if she can't show kindness to her own family members, her own father, after 2 heart attacks, then I do not believe that it is genuine. Now, some people will naturally say, but members of the royal family go do hospital visits. When they normally go, firstly, they are there because there is a new wing opening, a new ward opening, there might be a new scientific breakthrough or something that can help patients. They go there to draw attention to the hospital, to the ward, to whatever it is. They are normally promoting something. Meghan is promoting herself. And also the big difference when you see Princess Diana, when you see Catherine, Princess of Wales, Sophie, now the Duchess of Edinburgh, when you see them interacting with children at hospitals, they firstly go over to their beds to see them, to see their family members for a start. These children were all wheeled into a room. Yes, it's one of those sensory rooms, but it's just too contrived with Meghan sitting in the centre like she was with the school, reading to the children in Harlem. Meghan is sitting on a stage and everyone else around her is a prop. And this is why no matter Meghan could fish out puppies next week and pose as she holds newborn babies and kisses them on the head like she's a presidential candidate. The thing is, people are never going to warm to Meghan because people can see that it is not genuine. It's very much self-serving. This is a woman who is one half of a couple who screams from the rooftops about privacy and leading a normal life for her children, that their security is of the utmost importance. That's why the children are hidden and never seen unless Meghan's getting a paycheck, obviously, off of Netflix. She times the release of her children depending who's paying what, clearly. But here she is yet again using other people's children as a promotional tool. As I said, my gut is telling me that Meghan fully intended to release these pictures just in case Catherine did make an appearance, which sadly she didn't, but we know the reasons why, and I look forward to seeing Catherine at next year's Easter service. So speaking of the Easter service, we had some wonderful photographs. The King looked really well. He looked in great spirits. Queen Camilla looked fabulous in that colour green. I love the hat. My favourite outfit of the day, however, was the Princess Royal. I love it. The hat, the coat, the boots, the bag, the whole shebang. That is an outfit that I would actually copy. She looked absolutely fantastic, and I love the fact that she can do country casual and then Sunday church. She's a woman in her 70s, and as I said, I would definitely copy some of the clothes that she wears. She wears timeless pieces. Now, it wasn't just the King and Queen who looked to be in great spirits, the whole family did. Prince Edward at one point was grinning ear to ear, and he was stood next to the fabulous Duchess of Edinburgh, Sophie, who looked absolutely perfect in purple. I wasn't keen on the hat when I first saw it, but it actually grew on me. The whole outfit, she looks lovely. Everybody looked to be in a good mood. Obviously, Fergie, you can always tell when Fergie's in a good mood. She's like a cartoon character. She certainly doesn't hide her joy. Now, as for the King and Queen, after the service, they spent plenty of time meeting well-wishers, which is fantastic because for me, that's a good sign because that means that King Charles's doctors have told him it's safe for him to mingle. That is definitely a positive sign when someone is receiving any sort of invasive treatment like cancer treatment is, because it lowers your immune system. But it also shows that Harry's latest temper tantrum is all the more absurd and ridiculous. The King and Queen can quite happily walk round with the riffraff, meeting members of the public without having armed guards around them. Now, obviously, they've got a security detail, but look at them. They are quite happily chatting to members of the public. But Harry is oh so much more important and paranoid. Harry's latest round of paranoia is because St Pauls Cathedral dared to breach his security because they released information on the Invictus Games 10th anniversary service, which is to be held at St Pauls Cathedral on the 8th of May. Why would you hide this for Harry? It's meant to be a wonderful celebration for veterans and families. You'd love a big turnout outside, people cheering. The Invictus Games is incredibly wonderful. What it brings to people's lives, the veterans, the families, the support network. It should be celebrated. But Harry clearly wanted it kept private and quiet. And I think we all know that it's got nothing to do with his security. Yes, of course, I believe that Harry is very, very paranoid over his security. Do I think that he could be throwing a tantrum because he feels that they went against him, because Harry's team are apparently upset and the information has since been withdrawn? Whether that means that Harry's now going to turn up at a different time, who knows? Who cares? Newsflash, Harry, the Invictus Games is not about you. But this is where it's so ridiculous, the narrative that Harry is trying to push. Harry is making out that London, yes, it's a city, yes, of course it's got crime like any other city around the world, but Harry's acting like Snake Plissken might have to come in and rescue him. You know, instead of escape from New York, it's going to be escape from London. Whether he spends too much time watching these Hollywood movies, London has fallen, and he thinks that's going to happen to him. It's really laughable. I personally don't think it's got anything to do with Harry's security concerns and everything to do with this. Yes, that clip was from 2022, the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. That was after Oprah, where everybody was letting them know inside the cathedral, and more importantly, outside, what they really thought of the couple that had stabbed the knife into our very much beloved and elderly Queen. The boos were so loud that you could hear them over the number of people that were outside, and of course the cathedral bells. Trust me, I've been in London when those bad boys have been ringing. They are loud. Now this might have been after Oprah, but it was before Netflix. It was before Spare. The other various articles and podcasts and things that Harry and Meghan have said and accused the royal family of. This is before Omid Scobie's Endgame that just conveniently named Princess Catherine and the King as the royal racists. So if Harry and Meghan thought the boos were loud then, well, this time I think they're going to be even louder. And this is why Harry didn't want the time of his and apparently Meghan's arrival to be broadcasted. Now, I have had so many of you guys over the last 4 years say to me, Taz, you really need to set up a shop, but I've never thought of a single thing that I could sell that any of you might find even interesting enough to buy until now. What do you think, guys? I think I should start selling a little bit of According to Taz merchandise, getting ready for St Pauls Cathedral on the 8th of May. There's part of me that is slightly tempted to take the day off, just so I can go there and record the genuine noise of when Harry and potentially Meghan arrive, because we know that their PR team are going to do absolutely everything to pretend that those boos did not happen. And I want to be there to say, haha, yes, they did. Who knows? Maybe I might even get one of those megaphones. So guys, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bit of a mishmash. I have now got a lot of work to do to get that interview out to you. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you enjoy the next, and I will see you very soon. Take care for now. Bye.